Hello and welcome back to the Otakuology podcast. I'm your host, Otaku Mike. With me, as always, is Jen. He looks pretty good at Graves.
I do look pretty good,
And
thanks.
today we are talking about Stranger Things, episode 4, season 1, The Body. I watched this episode twice tonight,
Yeah.
and I don't know if it's because of recent life events, but I am all discombobulated in my thoughts.
No, I honestly feel like until we get to season 2, season 1 is kind of be that way.
Maybe, but I mean, there were aspects that I did really like about it.
Yeah. But it just seems like everything's not like segued, like it jumps around a lot.
Yeah.
Like you know how like when we covered like King of the Hill, how we had like an A and a B.
But I feel like this one, true, we
This
didn't
one
have a.
this one feels like we have a B C D E F G,
Yeah. But I
and
feel like
then you get
it's.
little bits and pieces throughout the whole thing, like we're trying to make a song.
It feels like definitely like it's starting to come together, but there's still a lot of moving
Yeah,
plot threads in this episode.
yeah.
Like,
So the first thing I want to ask you though, do
uh,
you feel like this one is appropriately named, or
the
do you
body?
feel like yeah, or do you feel like the last one should have been named The Body?
I mean, I don't know because this one has the body in it.
The last one had the body in it
Yeah,
when it
but
was discovered.
this one we like actually saw the body.
Okay.
I don't know.
I just wondered that because I was like,
Wasn't the
when
last one named like Holly Jolly?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just thinking about it when you sent me the pictures for the thumbnails earlier, and it was the body, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go look at the body closer." But I was like, "Wait, we already saw the body."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so which one? It was just a thing floating around in my head, like which one made more sense to be called the body?
I don't. Maybe those both should have been called like Body One and Body Two. Maybe we should have done that.
Yeah, I don't know. I know when we hit season 2 though, everything will be more like streamlined in their processes. We will have like an ABC line instead of an ABCD through G. Uh so I get where these titles kind of pick like one aspect out of it, but I just can't wait till we get into season 2 where we will have more streamlined, where we won't have as many segues off of the main tree, you know.
Yeah.
Um
Yeah.
but
True.
this is just season 1, so like I'm not gonna subtract points off of anything, or like if we did our fives, like I wouldn't knock points off it for being the first season. Like if this was the third or fourth season, maybe, but
Yeah. Yeah.
um
Yeah. But
but we can get into this one.
yeah.
Obviously we we get into where we start this with Joyce waking up, right? Because
We
they have to get ready to go look at the body.
we no. So it starts out with Hopper and Joyce. Like Hopper's kind of like looking around the house, the Byers house, like investigating and stuff because they start talking about how like he said something came out of the wall, stuff like that,
Yeah,
and he's starting to like question her and ask her, you know, you just need to like grieve, like just like I did with Sarah. And they start talking, and like she's like, no, like I saw him, I saw Will, like, or she didn't see him, but I heard him, like he talked through the lights. And she starts like, going off and like, yeah, I heard he said he wasn't safe and stuff. And they're like, maybe you just need to rest. And she doesn't
yeah,
rest. She doesn't rest at all. She she goes out to the shed and gets an axe.
yeah.
She doesn't do anything with the axe yet. you know? But
Yeah.
like, I mean, she just sits on the couch and does never goes to sleep until she actually goes to sleep. And then I think we end up like actually her waking up to go see the body, I think it was. If I remember
Yeah, yeah.
correctly.
I think that's what it was.
I mean, I'm really honestly getting it mixed up with the kids at this moment.
Yeah.
Oh no,
I
no,
don't
no. We do see the kids because they start talking about the news report. Like Mike's mom and dad are watching the news report, and we see like Mike downstairs looking through like these pictures and stuff and all that, and like um Eleven's messing with the radio and stuff, and like Mike gets mad and lashes out at her, which not cool, Mike. Just saying, lashing out. I mean, she didn't lie to Mike, and then like she said, like Will was alive, even though they didn't really
yeah.
get a good look at the body. Just saying. And this is where 11 uses her powers to actually like reach through to the upside down to Will, and he starts singing that song, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. I think this was after that part that we were talking about.
Was it after that part? Okay.
Yeah, cuz I think we went through the whole segment of them actually looking at the body first, remember?
No, no, the body comes after this because they actually do end up going, and they go to the body, and Joyce is like, or Jonathan's like, oh, we got to go to the body, we got to go see the body because she's dreaming of Will, and he's like, wake up, mom, wake up, and then that's where we see Jonathan, and she's like, we got to get up and go to the body, which they do go to the
You're
body.
right. You're
They
right.
do go.
Yeah.
They do go to the body. They go to the coroner's office, and we find out that Gary Gary is not on duty the night before. He got relieved of his duties because the state came in and wanted to autopsy Will Byers' body, and you know,
Which
uh,
I think
stuff
this would
happened.
also be a good part for us to jump forward just so we don't forget about it, where Gary actually talks to Hopper about it.
Yeah,
And he brings up basically how he thought it was so weird when Hopper was able to sit down and he brought him down to the station and talk about it. And he goes, well, yeah, like there were so many, like, I think he said like 16 FBI agents. And he goes, there were so many people there, um, like for this thing. And he was like, for Will Byers, and Hopper has to kind of be like, what do you mean, like for? He goes, well, it's Will Byers.
John F.
JF.
K.
It's not JFK.
Yeah,
And like so that's another thing I feel like we really didn't understand until we actually got to this part where Gary is telling Hopper that,
yeah,
which just it puts another nail in the coffin.
yeah. That
Um,
something's amiss at this moment.
yeah, yeah,
Like something's amiss, and we see before this we see Mike get up. I think he like pretends to be sick or not feeling well because of what happened. They're gonna have the funeral for Will, and
yeah.
his mom is like, hey, you can come grab a book and we can go to and you can read on the way, and we can go to Blockbuster. I'll even let you rent one of those R-rated movies. like
Right.
like that's an incentive to come with her to drop the other kids off at school.
Yeah.
Like, I'll let you rent one of those R-rated movies. It's okay.
Well, and she had to go talk to Barb's parents,
Yeah, yeah, because Barb's still missing.
which that leads us into a whole different weird ass situation, which I
Yeah.
really feel like there is more to that than what she just said, because I feel like she had more to her day. Does that make sense? Like she told us what was going to be in her day,
Uh huh.
and I feel like not only was it like dropping the kids off at school and stuff, but it was also having to go back to school for them to talk about what happened to Barb with Nancy, which you and I liked that scene a little bit where she like came out of the kitchen and was like, Nancy, where have you been? It's 12 o'clock at
Yeah,
night.
where have you been? Where have you been? Which
You know,
we can kind of jump into that where we at one other point where we see her Nancy get called from the school
well,
about
let,
about
let's
Barb's
let's
whereabouts.
let's jump a little farther back than that.
Okay, okay.
Where Nancy's at school and she's actually talking to Steve,
Oh yes,
and
yes.
they're like kind of in the back of the school, where like, or it could be the side of the school, but
I think
wherever
it's
like
like they're near the track field, I think, or football field.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
which is really weird. So this actually made me think of the track and field at I think it's in Smallville. There's a track and field, and I was like, I wonder if they use the same area. That would be really cool
Oh.
information to find out,
I mean,
because it kind of looks the same.
I wonder if they shot in like Canada because that's where Smallville shot was in
Yeah.
Canada.
Well, I know here they did a lot of Hawkins in Georgia, but who's to say they didn't take little pieces from all over the place?
I
You
mean,
know?
Georgia is a pretty big like filming area because they get like a really big tax break, or they did, because I think like The Walking Dead shot out there.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, yeah, no.
See some Walking Dead cast out there too.
So,
That'd
but seeing
be
that scene and
in
like
Stranger Things.
seeing Steve like Nancy wants to like go to the authorities or whatever and or talk to Barb's parents and like Steve's like, hey, come on, like let's not do that. My dad will kill me because of the party. Now the party was like 5 people. It wasn't really a
Yeah.
party. It
It
was a
was
get together.
yeah, yeah.
It was
And
a
then of
get
course
together.
it ended up, well, let's just not talk about the beer.
Yeah, let's not talk about the beer. Like
Which
which
I I think this is the first episode that we see the little spark where her and Jonathan are going to get together. And I
yeah,
think that this conversation right here that she had with Steve
uh-huh.
is a very crucial part of that.
Which I kind of wanted to know what was the legal drinking age back in like 1980? Was it 3? I think it was when this starts. Like, what was the legal
I
drinking
think it was
age?
still 21.
Was it 21? Okay,
I think so.
maybe I can't remember because I know it got raised eventually. I think it was like maybe 18 or 19 or something like that, and then it got raised to like 21.
What
But it
year
just
was
made.
did you say this was?
I think it's 83 is when it
Okay.
was.
Keep
Yeah,
talking, I'll look it up.
and so like we get this part and then we end up actually getting the boys they all stay home and Mike is pestering Lucas to answer his fucking walkie talkie at this point, and he eventually like bugs him. He's like, Mike, I'm not in the mood for you, Mike, which is weird saying my own name, I've got to be honest. It's a little surreal.
Yeah, right.
And
Okay. It's so this thing right here says that virtually every state by 1983 the minimum drinking age was 83, but the purchasing age was 19 or 20.
okay, okay.
So that would be like hey, my dad's in the car and he
Let
needs
me
like
get a
a
6 pack for him.
yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay. Interesting, interesting. So yeah, the kids get together and they're trying to figure out like how L's powers basically work. And they're Mike's trying to show them, hey, no, like we contacted him, like he's singing sung that stupid song that he sang. And we see we see the kids and they do hear him, I believe, but they need like a stronger radio. So their plan is to go to Hawkins High, the school, and get L to use the big giant radio that they have in the AV club room. You know,
Yeah,
which
for
their
Mr. Clark.
plan. We get a montage. We get a montage in this where we see them looking for stuff to disguise L, which is hilarious. This is
Yeah, it
probably
is.
my one of my favorite things in this episode is them trying to pick out the perfect outfit for her to wear and them trying to do her makeup.
Yeah.
it was just all the little details were really really funny, and I just thought it was really funny, like to see their like reaction of like, oh, she's
Well,
pretty.
and in this one, I kept thinking that they were going to have like a part where somebody was going to find out something, like, you know, Nancy was going to bring up, "Did you get my makeup?" You
Yeah,
know, that never happens, but I just thought it would be a really funny touch in this to be like, "Did you get my makeup? What happened to this dress?" Like that nobody's ever touched or whatever for like a long time. Um,
yeah. No, it's funny just to see the kids' reactions, like, oh, you're pretty, pretty good, pretty good. And we see 11 look in the mirror, and she's like, I'm pretty. Like she's never been told that before in her life, and
yeah,
like she looks like a normal person to an extent. Like it's just a very interesting scene, and
yeah.
which I feel like it starts the development of the puppy love story with Elle and Mike at this
I
point.
can see that.
Because like the way he looks at her, he's like, "You're pretty."
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Um, let's see. Somewhere in here we had where um Nancy and Miss Wheeler end up bringing up the whole thing about staying with Steve.
Oh yes. So we get the scene after this to where we see Nancy in her class. I don't remember what class it is, and the police show up. The two sheriff deputies show up, I believe.
Yeah,
The ones who like kind of pal around with Hopper, and they start talking to her, and it's like, oh, so like, why did Barb leave? She got into an argument with you? And she's like, no, she didn't like get into an argument. It was more like a disagreement. Like they were trying to like really fish information out of Nancy at this point.
yeah,
And honestly, like, I don't feel like they were doing a very good job. And maybe like, what's the entrap her almost
yeah,
in
yeah,
a sense. To where like Nancy's like, no, like I just I fell into the pool. I went upstairs to go get dry clothes. Barb wanted to leave. I didn't want to leave, and the guys were like, oh well, you went up to Steve's room, and did you say this before or after you changed your clothes? And like they're trying to insinuate that they slept together and stuff, and we see
yeah,
Mrs. we see Mrs. Wheeler like perk up, and she's like, huh? like
yeah. Which
like
is
she,
really crazy when they finally get back home,
yes,
and she's like, "Why did you lie the police about to the police about all that?"
yeah. I mean,
And she's like, "What
technically,
did I lie to them about?" And she's like, "About y'all having sex."
she didn't really lie. I don't think.
I mean, I get where Karen would say that she did. Um,
Yeah, but I mean,
just
like,
because she left that out, but
and
I don't
and like, I don't think them having sex was anything to do with Barb's disappearance. I
know.
think I think Barb would have went disappeared regardless.
Yeah, yeah. Well, and I just also think that that would have kept them away from a lot of other stuff if that was said, like, okay, well, if that happened, then that means that you guys obviously couldn't be around to make her disappear. You
Yeah,
know, it
yeah.
just it turned into like a weird
And
thing.
like in reality, like it's not about them like having sex. It's about Barb missing. Like that is the problem. And Nancy brings that up, which I'm on Nancy's side about this, is that which we're not slut shaming like we slut shamed Connie apparently. Okay?
Whoa, whoa,
Like
that was just you.
that was just saying. But yeah, so like
Listen,
even
listen. To make parallel coincidences, was Connie a little, you know, was she a little weird? Was she a little Chang for the Wang? Sure.
yeah.
Was Nancy? No, because Nancy was a virgin.
That's true.
Did they both go after guys that are shitty? Chang and and uh
Steve.
and Steve, yes, at this point are both complete assholes of things.
Yeah.
So
So yeah, which I mean, I'm on Nancy's side at this point. Like, it didn't matter that Steve and her hooked up. The only thing that
yeah,
matters is them finding Barb because something bad happened to Barb. Because we even
yeah,
hear at one point that Barb's car went missing. Like, why would her car go missing
yeah.
and
Well, and
nobody
it
can
had
find it?
it had it had debris and stuff on it. So I mean, like we as observers of the show know what happened to it, but
Yeah,
it's really weird that there's nothing else in there for us to like know about it. And it's
yeah.
really weird how like Hawkins lab tries to cover up part of this stuff.
They cover up so fucking much shit.
Yeah, and it's really weird.
It's
Like
really weird, and like, it's really like, I kind of wonder how they got the technology and we'll get into it later, but to make the body.
I feel like rubber glove or some kind of plastic latex solution and a really good painter.
I mean, yeah. I mean,
I
but
mean,
but yeah,
some kind of shit like that.
but yeah.
Um,
Let's get back into it. You
but of
know,
course, like taking the car and everything else, like they really hide a lot of stuff. And this is one thing, especially in this episode, that really like made me think about a lot of stuff. In episode one, like they killed Benny,
yeah,
you know, and how come in no other seasons does it feel like somebody has died because the government took something into their own hands? Have they been captured and, like, I would say, quote unquote, neutralized? Yes. But there hasn't been another time that I remember where anybody in Hawkins police force or Hawkins lab or
whoa,
anybody
whoa.
has overextended.
What about? No, I'm thinking that was the Russians that did that. Never mind.
You're thinking about Alexei?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That was the
I
Russians
mean,
that did it.
yeah, you might be right. Yeah, they only, I guess, killed Benny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So it's a little crazy to think that like this whole thing started with one person getting shot and then nobody else ever gets hurt the rest of the time.
yeah.
So
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird to think about. But I mean, I guess we'll have to refresh our memories while watching this.
yeah. The other thing that I would like to know, like while all this stuff is going on, is like how close were characters. Like if we had a big map, like the map from the Marauders map from Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Like how weird would it be like to see where certain people are? Like the part that we're about to get into where the boys are at the AV room
Yeah.
trying to get in, like they're there and they snuck back to the elementary. And how weird would it have been, like, oh my god, how close were they to Karen and Nancy like catching them at the school,
Yeah.
knowing that Mike is supposed to be at home.
Yeah, yeah, true. True. And like, we can jump into that where we see them at the school. They get to the school, which I'm really curious, like, is it comfortable riding tandem on a one-seated bike?
I think it depends on what seat you have.
Because Mike has like a really long seat on his bike with, like, the
Yeah,
handlebar thing on the back or whatever it is.
yeah, yeah,
I don't know what it's called, like the back part of the seat. And like
yeah,
11's like has her feet on like pegs. And
yeah.
like, I'm just like, was that comfortable while filming? Because
I don't know.
they don't really do the bike thing. Well, they do the bike thing, but I don't ever see them ever do that again. Really?
Yeah.
But they,
Well, and I still want to know if it's true on that part for well, in this season where they had to go in, because like they said that Finn, which is Mike's guy,
yeah,
didn't know how to ride a bike in season 1.
yeah,
So they had to like CGI the whole thing of somebody else riding and then superimpose his head, and they're like, That was like $2,000.
That was so weird that he didn't know how to ride a bike.
I mean, I don't know how to ride a
I don't
bike.
know how kids these days don't know how to ride a bike, but uh I don't
Who
know.
knows?
Maybe it's just different generation.
Yeah.
But yeah, like so they get to the school and they try to get to the AV room, but they can't get in. And what's his name? The teacher?
Mr. Scott Clark.
Yeah, Mr. Clark. Mr. Clark shows up and he's like, "Hey guys, how's it going? We got the assembly for Will. We need to go show our support." And they're like, "Oh, well, we can't. We're sad. We just need alone time." Which I guess you need alone time in the AV room.
I I mean, the wordage I feel like could have been better. I feel like they could have been like, this was the place that we would have all gotten along, was in the AV room.
But you think like they would have noticed that the three of them weren't in school.
Yeah.
And he never brought that up. Like, hey guys, where have you been? Unless it like wasn't his time to teach them or whatever. But he meets
Probably
11.
not, because he's their science teacher, and I can't remember when they do science.
Yeah, but he meets 11, and we find out that 11 is actually named Eleanor, apparently, and she's
And
from
she's from Sweden,
Sweden,
and it's
and
a bad place.
she is Mike's second cousin,
Yeah.
and he just buys it hook, line, and sinker.
Yeah, yeah. As much as the kids like screwed up on saying it first, second cousin,
Yeah,
like as an adult, I think I'd be like, okay, unless Mr. Clark was thinking about circling back and just getting them to the gym for now, but that didn't happen, obviously.
no, that didn't, and we get the most awkward like gym assembly where they need like grief counselors apparently, and like Will was apparently like a really big like you know aspect to like the school like ecosystem or whatever you want to call it,
Yeah.
which I'm like, was he really?
Or was he just somebody's punching bag at school?
Was he
Yeah.
somebody's punching bag, or was he just a really smart student? Like, was he the one that got the good grades and got all the money because he scored highly on the tests? You know,
There's no telling.
uh, but we see, I forget. I think his name is Troy and somebody else. Like they're the bullies that show up occasionally.
Troy and James.
They're talking and like, oh yeah, he was such an asset to our school. He will be missed. And we see Mike notices and L's like mouth breathers. Like, yeah, fucking mouth breathers, these two guys. And seeing them like get their comeuppance, which I
Oh
forgot this
yeah.
happened. I forgot
I
this
mean,
happened.
and I really like the fact that when the Duffer Brothers made this, so they like Mike, they kind of like let Mike get like the hit in first
Yeah.
before Elle did what she did, because like like we've seen Troy and James, I think, like twice already, and every time
Yeah.
they bully, and they always say that Will's gay, and they talk about Dustin's teeth, and they keep like making fun of you know uh
Will being possibly gay.
yeah, and Lucas, and stuff with Mike, and it's
Yeah, don't
always
they
like,
call Lucas like monkey or something? Like they
I
call
think
him some
so.
some like real like derogatory thing.
I think so. I think that's when they were talking about who's going to join the circus.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Which I'm glad these guys like get their comeuppance and I mean, I know they do come back in like later seasons, but I like it that like they get put in their place in this one.
Yeah.
Where, they're talking like Mike definitely tries to stand up for his friend Will, and Dustin and Lucas are kind of like hesitant, like, oh my god, like what's going on?
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, Will's probably with the fairies at the fairyland, he's probably dead. And we see Mike push Troy, and Troy like falls down, He's like, what the fuck? Like, I'm gonna kill you. And then he gets stopped in his tracks. And he's like, what the fuck's going on? And then everybody else is like,
Somebody,
what the fuck is going on? Because
somebody, somebody massages that prostate or something, I
it
guess.
it takes so long for him to react, for everybody to react. And we see like 11 out of focus, like doing her like stuff. Like she's the
Yeah,
one stopping him. Like where I was like,
if you look at it, you can kind of see her fingers and her hand moving,
yeah,
but it's all blurry because she's in the
yeah, and
background.
her hands like her head's like down. And
Yeah.
which begs the question, did he piss his pants or did she make him piss his pants?
Oh, she made him piss his pants.
Because I was like I was like, which one is it? Like, I think if I was stopped dead in my tracks, I would probably piss my pants or something like that.
I kind of feel like she just put pressure for him to pee, or like the lack thereof. You know, with
Hell's magic power, making people piss their pants.
or this is gonna sound weird. Remember that weird ass anime that you were or manga that you were telling me about, where the person's like hand was a girl?
Oh, Midori days. Yeah,
No, I think it was something else, and
yeah. It's Midori days.
they were able to like stick their hand up inside of themselves to like do something.
Uh,
Um,
the only one I know of is Midori days.
okay, that's
Yeah,
kind of what that part made me think about. It was a picture you sent me, but it made me think about like somebody almost using like in D&D, it would be like mage hand, like
yeah.
in somebody and just like squeezing like two mage hands, like
Or,
squeezing somebody's
or like
bladder.
a Muppet or something. Like Troy was Elle's Muppet.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, which is funny. Like he's like, "Oh man, I pissed myself," and then they leave, and then they go to the AV room where they actually do get contact with Will, but they can't talk to him. They do intercept the thing that's going on at the same exact time, to where um,
him talking to Joyce.
get him talking to Joyce, and Joyce starts like hearing the thumping, and they hear the thumping, and they hear Will, and which we find out that Joyce rips off the like wallpaper, and she sees like a rift, and Will is inside the rift in this wall, and she can't get to him, which is
Yeah,
one of the most heartbreaking scenes. I feel like is like Joyce trying to get to Will, like a parent trying to get to their child. Their child is in fear, hurt, or whatever, and your biggest fear is you can't get to your child. Like this is
yeah,
such a relatable scene. I feel like
yeah.
as a parent,
Well, and I mean, we've also gotten a few other scenes that we've kind of left out, but like the one where after they go to the coroner, like she's walking out, she goes, "That's not Will. That's not Will at all,"
yeah,
talking about the body.
that thing is not my son.
Yeah, and of course, like Jonathan trying to be like, "No,
No, no, that's
that
him. That's him.
how could you say that, mom?" And
Yeah, we're gonna have the
some other shit like
funeral
that.
regardless without you. Go talk to your stupid lights.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Which this is a very like powerful scene at this moment because they're everything is like coming together, and we see
yes,
like the thing close up, and like Joyce just fucking uses that axe to like bust a fucking hole through the wall to try to get to Will. She does it a little too late. I feel like. I feel like if she used the axe when the portal was open, she could get to him.
it might have worked. Yeah,
It
yeah,
might have worked. We maybe a little foreshadowing for later.
right.
But the radio catches on fire and they have to put it out and they leave, and we get this scene to where we saw Hopper talking to Gary. Is it Gary? Yeah, it was Gary,
You mean
the more guy, the
yeah, yeah.
coroner.
You mean after that?
Yeah, after that we see him talking to Gary, and this is where we bring up the whole JFK thing, and how Will is basically JFK in this town.
Yeah,
And he looks and he sees like a state trooper being the guy who found Will. And he starts to put two together like something's fishy. So he just decides to do a little undercover work at this point. And we see him go to this bar and he meets this, state trooper. And he starts talking to him about his daughter. Let's celebrate. His daughter won a spelling bee. and they're talking about like what's going on. He's like, I've seen you before, and he's like, yeah, I found the Byers boy. He's like, oh, the state runs the quarry. That's weird because I thought so and so ran the quarry. Why are you lying to me?
Yeah.
Like, why are you fucking trying to pull my leg at this moment? And we see him basically beating the shit out of this guy outside, trying to get information. And we see this weird, like, black car go off. And he's trying to figure out, like, who do you fucking work for? Because he's obviously working for somebody. I mean, people are paying this guy big money probably at this point
Yeah. Yeah. And
to
O'Bannon
lie.
runs
Yeah.
off. Yeah.
And Hopper gets the idea to actually break into the morgue, the city morgue. He breaks into
Which
the city morgue.
for this part, I would say remember O'Bannon because it actually does come up again.
Does it?
Yeah. So
Okay.
he gets in, he walks in from the front, you know, desk area, and he just tells the head nurse or whoever's at the desk, like, "Hey, I just forgot my hat back there. I'll be a second. Don't worry about it." He walks back there and starts talking to the police officer, and he goes, "Oh, I need to go in here." And the police officer says, "No, I can't let you in." He goes, "Oh, well, I work with O'Bannon." And the police officer goes, "I don't work with O'Bannon."
Yeah.
And this is a scene that I really love because
He's like, okay.
knowing other characters that he plays, like the Red Guardian and stuff,
Yeah.
like this is a part that I could see Red Guardian doing. And you have where Hopper is like, I'm not gonna try and come up with any more lies or whatever.
Pow pow pow
Like,
pow pow.
fuck it. And he gives him the grin and everything. He's like, and then just clocks him in the face a couple times and knocks him out.
Yeah.
And you're just like,
It's a fun
I
scene. It's a fun scene.
you have to love the scene because I feel like everybody has gotten to a point in something like that, whether it's fight or flight, somebody puts you in a weird thing and you just instantly like throw a punch, or somebody says something and you've seen it in like old movies where somebody's like, "So what's in the bag?" And they're like, "Oh, ice cream or whatever," and then the guys just take off, like running away from the cops or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that was one of these scenes right here, and it was great. But that got us to the point where Hopper gets into the door. He's able to look into the morgue and pull the body out. And
My
I think
question is, how do they make it look exactly like Will?
I
Did they
think they
just get a
probably
lot of
used.
pictures of him?
Uh, I think they used pictures, and they thought the water would do the rest of it.
Oh, like bloat it?
Bloat it, kind of make it like stuff. Because I mean, you got to remember the other thing though that we've heard this whole time is, and Joyce hasn't even gotten that close to it. Nobody has really shown
The body.
the body up close.
Yeah, because I think Joyce asked one point that, hey, he has a birthmark on his left arm. I think it was.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think
Now we also,
that was the thing she needed to know. Like that wasn't her
yeah.
son, because I don't think they got that detail correct.
Well, and I don't know. I don't know on that.
That's what I'm going off of.
I think that she asked more questions than that, and she just knew.
Yeah,
But they obviously just there wasn't enough, and like if we're at the same point like where Joyce was, where she was looking through the
yeah.
glass,
Why wasn't she actually in the room?
because they didn't want her that close to the body to tell. That's why the body was 10 feet away, basically, from the glass and everything else. And I really don't think that they got anything wrong. I think it was the fact that it was so far away that she got annoyed
Yeah,
because somebody could be like, "Yeah, there's this mark right here," and she's like, "I can't see that." Well,
yeah,
what about this right here? Well, that doesn't look like anything to me. You got me 10 feet 10 feet back outside of a window that I can't even see everything proper in through.
yeah,
Like, so I think a lot of that probably is triggers for her, where she was like, "Well, if they can't let me see him, like obviously this is fake."
yeah. True.
But of course, we have where Hopper touched it, and I that would be the one thing I really want to know is whenever he had to touch this thing the first time, was what did it feel like?
I don't think
Because
it probably didn't feel like an actual human.
yeah, because he kind of get does this weird look, but then at the same point he like is second guessing himself because he pulls
Yeah.
his pocket knife out to like, hey, I'm gonna cut through the skin and see what's here.
Yeah. Which
And
he does second guess himself on that part.
he's like, what do I do? Which did you notice? Because this is the weird part. Did you notice he didn't have the Y?
What why?
So whenever you do an autopsy, no matter what
Oh
accident you have,
yes, yes, he
you're
didn't. Yes.
supposed to have a Y cut into you to for them to double check your organs.
Yes, he didn't, didn't he?
And he didn't have the Y cut into him,
He didn't have any cuts in him.
which was my big thing in this. That even if he drowned, he still should have had a Y, and they didn't do it.
He should have been like blown up and bloated by all the how long he was in the water for.
That's true too.
Yeah.
So I mean, there were a lot of different things I feel like observation wise that people watching it could have actually called out on.
Yeah. And we also, I forgot about this totally. We get the scene where at Hawkins' lab where they send somebody through like the void, like tethered to like a cable.
Yeah, I think his name was
Shepard was his name.
Shepherd. Shepherd,
Which
yeah.
I wonder if that was a reference to like Mass Effect.
Had to be. Had to fucking be.
Yeah. Yeah. So like he goes in there and he doesn't come out. He doesn't come out at all.
Well, I want to know how long he walked in there because, they had the cable going and it was pulling
Yeah.
pretty fucking slow.
And where was he exactly in the Upside Down? I want to know.
Yeah.
Um,
The world may never know.
but he never comes out. We never see him again, so he might still be in there for the new season. We don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
That'd be pretty crazy. Like, hey, here's that body that you guys were looking for from season 1.
but yeah, Hopper cuts into fake Will,
Fake Byers.
and he finds out that he's made a stuffing.
Yeah.
He's made a stuffing, and then we
He's
get
just
like the big like I don't know if
he's
it's like a reveal.
he's just got cotton.
He's not a real boy.
Yeah.
He's not a real boy.
The big reveal for the photo.
Yeah, the photo where they get
Okay.
a photo of the
So
Demogorgon.
so for a second we got to back up. So after that argument with Karen and Nancy, Nancy
Mhm.
went to her room and gets really upset about that argument, and she just pours her purse out. And all the little bits that from last episode got ripped up of Jonathan's pictures
Yeah,
fell out on the bed. So she sees the little piece that has Barb sitting on the diving board, and she ends up starting to rearrange the pictures kind of like a puzzle to find out how they all go together. And in the corner there's this weird outline that she can't really tell, but this gets her kind of the trigger to go back to school and find Jonathan.
yeah.
Brings it up to him, and then they go back to the lab, not the lab, to
The photo
the
room.
block, yeah, the photo room, and Jonathan actually goes into that area, blows it up, and makes it a little clearer for us to get our actual picture of what that silhouette is, which is the Demogorgon.
And Jonathan also says like, yeah, like Barb was there, but then like Barb just up and vanished.
Yeah,
Like he
yeah,
didn't know where Barb went. So Barb was there, and like he was a witness to it,
yeah.
And then we get like the big reveal where good old Lonnie comes back.
Yeah.
Lonnie comes back at the end, and he's like being so um like nice and like empathetic and stuff, and that's how we end our
I have
episode.
no idea. I didn't really feel like he said shit to her. So
No,
Joyce,
he was like, babe, like what's wrong?
yeah, fuck
It's
that
gonna
guy.
be okay. It's gonna be okay.
He's
Like
already dating a younger girl.
I
Like,
know, like obviously nothing good is gonna come of this. Nothing good at
yeah,
all.
yeah.
But yeah, that's our episode.
Yeah. I mean, a couple things that I'd like to bring up
Uh
are
huh.
I do like Jonathan's implementation of like what photography is. When you catch the right moments, you get to like really see how people are.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's one reason why he's really standoffish and distant from a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Um which we do know he kind of has a little bit of a thing for Nancy, and
A
that was
little
one
thing.
thing
A little
with
thing.
this. Yeah, a little thing.
A lot.
Uh
A lot of things.
a lot of things for this with like Nancy asking, what did it look like before
It was like
her
it
and
was like it
Steve were about to do
didn't have a
everything.
face.
No, before her and Steve were about to have sex.
Oh,
Where she was like, "What does my face tell you?"
yeah.
So we got like part of that stuff and whatnot. And then, of course, the very, very end is where we saw Hopper drive up to the lab and he was going to cut his way through the fence.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the end. I forgot about that part, which that leads into the next episode. But yeah, I mean, this episode was. I feel like this episode was a lot more coherent than episode 2. To be honest, like
Yeah.
episode 3 and 4 are a little bit more coherent, and I feel
Yeah.
like things are starting to come together at this point.
Yeah.
Like the plot definitely thickens. I loved all the stuff with the kids. Like whenever the kids are on screen, they just shine. And I
Yeah.
feel like there's a fine line between good kid acting and like really bad kid acting.
Yeah. Well, and I also think that we saw pivotal moments like if you're not really watching, you don't see them, but like this was the first big pivotal moment I feel like with Elle and Lucas's relationship,
Yeah,
because like every other episode up to this point, like he's been calling
she's a
her kind of
freak.
like freak, and why would you trust her and all that other stuff. And whenever they hear all this stuff that's going on with Will, and Lucas now like starts believing her, like after the radio blows up and everything, like Dustin's still standing there, and Lucas, like when Mike is like, hey, we have to grab her and go, Lucas is the one to step up and actually grab a hold of Elle and pull her out.
Yeah,
So I feel like we are kind of cracking that whole thing where Lucas was standoffish to 11.
yeah, yeah. True, most definitely. Yeah, I didn't notice that before
Yeah.
in this episode. Yeah, there were like a lot of moments that I really liked. Like I liked the moment with Nancy and her mom. I thought that was a very like powerful moment for her. Like the stuff that what Hopper did, going out of his way, to dig into things and not just be like your typical sheriff, like he was kind of in like the first 2 episodes, I would
Yeah.
say. Yeah, and the
Well, and he's
kids,
he's got kind of his mission back though.
yeah,
Like I think in the first 2 episodes it was really that like 48-hour bullshit. Like you got to
yeah,
wait 48 hours for any of that to happen. And I think out of all this, he's really hit the wall on saying, I gotta find the Byers boy. I gotta find him.
yeah, yeah.
And I think he's really come full circle on that with being the person that we need Hopper to be.
Yeah, the hero. He needs to be the hero, the
Yeah.
savior.
Yeah. So I mean
Yeah,
he's going around, he's covering everything else that we just absolutely needed him to do.
he's Hopper the heroic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, this was a solid episode. I can't wait till we get to episode 5. I think there's only a couple more episodes in this season.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. But Jan, where can they find you at?
Well, I want to point one thing out first.
Okay.
Uh Man, if anybody that has made it this far in this episode of us talking about it and whatnot, man, you should congratulate Mike on that thumbnail art, because like I fucking love that shit. Like I was having a bad day at work today and everything just by the sheer amount of work. and you sent me the one for that, and I was like, dude, this is fucking awesome. Like, it brightened my day. Like, some of the other weird pictures we've gotten are just like like weird ones, or that
Yeah.
weird ones like it just doesn't hit right because of like AI doesn't understand what you're talking about sometimes.
Yeah.
But you sent me that one, I was like, this is fucking awesome.
I
Like,
mean, yeah, it was.
if
I
I
mean, I'm
saw that
not
somewhere, like, I'd
like
watch it.
I'm not a fan of AI art or AI trying to be art, but I
Yeah,
will use it to my advantage when it comes to my podcast.
yeah,
I'm not like making money off of it whatsoever, and we actually blatantly say, "Hey, this is AI."
yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it's
And I like that it gets really close to stuff that we would want um for Stranger Things without like actually crossing that line of using Stranger Things images.
yeah, yeah, but yeah,
So
yeah.
that always makes it really fun too. But yeah, I mean, if
I guess I hit the right spot for AI today.
yeah, yeah. So I mean, I look forward for a bunch of the other ones that we're gonna have coming out as well. But if you saw that, I would definitely say give Micah like a round of applause because that was fucking amazing. And it like anything with that cover, like I messaged him today. I was like, anybody that sees that thumbnail alone should give us a big draw to this episode.
Yeah,
Um, so I can't wait to see the numbers at after a month or so.
we'll see. We'll see.
But
Hopefully, it hits off.
yeah, but you guys can catch me basically everywhere that Otakuology is because we're awesome. You can catch me with Bard's Tavern over on my Instagram, as well as some other projects that I will have through the Tabletop Misfits gang, and stuff like that. Um, but yeah, that's all I can think of. I don't
You
know.
can also catch me at Otakuology as well as the Otaku Mike on YouTube or Instagram, where I do all my comic book content. If you like this podcast, make sure to rate it, like, subscribe on our YouTube channel, comment over there. We'll love to conversate with you, and it really helps. It really helps people find our podcast when people listen and interact with our podcast. It's the best you can do to help us as a podcast. We'll catch you guys on the next one.
Yeah. See you next Tuesday.